Hello and good evening, friends, and welcome to a very special Thursday edition of NFL Saturday right here on the Zone 25 here on YouTube and StreamYard.com. I am your host, Anthony Florio. I am joined by good old MF Michael Fletcher. We are maybe awaiting the presence of Michael Bullock. If he comes in, we'll catch him up on what he missed. If not, then we'll hopefully see him Sunday night for yet another special edition, a special Sunday edition, if you will, of the Cerebral. We got Bullock right here. So, all right. So we just started. So nothing to worry about here. All right. So we're all here. So doing things a little differently this week and next week because of special commitments on my end over the next couple of Saturdays. And this was the only way we could do the show without having to cancel it because we felt it would be a major disservice to all of you wonderful viewers out there who have supported our shows all these years, and especially after we had to cancel the opening week. But anyways, before we get into the action, we have a game in progress right now, week 3 getting underway here tonight. We have the Carolina Panthers squaring off against the Houston Texans exclusively on the NFL Network. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, Aaron Andrews, Christina Pink, they are all at NRG, formerly Reliant Stadium in Houston, Texas. Carolina leads 14-6. It is a red zone alert for Carolina early in the third quarter, but a major development just went down a few minutes ago. The Carolina Panthers star running back, Christian McCaffrey, tweaked his hamstring. He suffered a hamstring injury. No word on if he'll be able to return. We'll definitely keep an eye on that as soon as we get any developments. So for all you fantasy owners, I know you're probably holding your breath right now.
Actually out of the game, Florio.
Yeah. Out of the game?
Out. Will not return. Just been confirmed.
Oh, that sucks. So and I know all the fantasy owners are out there are probably going nuts right now, and not in a good way. But it is what it is. And Carolina has it 4th and 1, 12:47 to go in the fourth quarter, and it looks like they might have another injury on their hands. DJ Moore looks a little hurt on the sidelines over there. So,
he banged knees. He banged a knee with a fellow defender. It was a knee-to-knee clip, and yeah, he's down. But what a game he's having tonight. That is not a good situation.
Field
goal. Yeah.
Zane Gonzalez on for a chip shot field goal here. 21 yards. Money. Well, pure, as I would say.
Yeah.
It's pure. So 17-6 Carolina, 12:44 to go in the fourth quarter. If anything comes up, we'll definitely let you all know. We'll keep an eye on that as it progresses. But for right now, and I'm sure going into this, I'm sure we all had Carolina winning. So
yes.
Yep. So I know I did. MF did. I'm sure Bullock did as well. So all right. So with that being said, let's now get into the remaining action of week 3, which will all go down on Sunday. And let's take a look at the action that's going to go down. And the only downside about this is I don't have my Bible that I go off of, when it comes to, all the good stuff that I have, which is the ESPN guide that I usually relay off of for our NFL shows. Those don't come out until first thing Friday morning, so won't be able to roll off that for the next couple of weeks. So, but I found a suitable replacement. So, not as detailed, but I feel that it's the best that I can do for the next couple of weeks. And then once we get back to the Saturday shows, then I'll roll off the ESPN and give you all that stuff again. So, with that being said, let's dive into the first Sunday game for week number 3, and it will feature the Washington football team squaring off against my Buffalo Bills from Highmark Stadium, the newly named Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park. And this game will be exclusive to Fox, and And on the call for that one, it will be Chris Myers, Daryl Moose Johnston, and Jennifer Hale. We have Buffalo opening up as a 7.5-point favorite, so I'm very encouraged by that. And the history of this one, Buffalo leads the all-time series 9-5. Their last meeting was 2 years ago in Buffalo. Buffalo winning 24-9. The Washington football team, back when they were the Washington Redskins, have not won in Buffalo since 1987. That was the strike. That was one of the strike-shortened years. That was the infamous replacements season. 1987, the last time Washington won in Buffalo. That was a 27-7 final. So that being said, Washington football team will prepare Taylor Heineke better for his second start of the season, but this is a tough place to play on the road against the Bills defense that looks more complete and dangerous. Ask MF, and he's going to tell you firsthand in a moment. Josh Allen will need to worry about Chase Young and Washington's defense playing a lot better than week 2 last Thursday night. Josh Allen needs a get-well game. This just may not be it, as the Bills are better suited to keep up the run-heavy approach versus Washington. So the Bills put it all together, but I think the Bills will put it all together and remind everyone why they are still strong, and I mean very strong, AFC championship contenders. Buffalo wins this one. My final score, of course, I'm going to go with my team. 27-17. Buffalo defeats Washington, gets back on track. And MF, what did I tell you, man? I told you we were coming to Hard Rock with the tiki torches and the pitchforks, and we were pissed. And oh boy, did we take it out on you in a big, big way. Oh boy.
If you actually watched the game, Florio, they were very sloppy. You were very fortunate that Tua Tagovailoa and Miami basically fell flat on their faces, because Josh Allen threw an interception to Xavier Howard. You had 3 fumbles on Buffalo's side. So, I mean, Miami just couldn't move the ball. The defense was as good as advertised. And Allen only had 179 yards passing. That was very pedestrian for Josh Allen. If you really look at it from that scope, and you look at the final score, you're thinking, oh, Buffalo dominated Miami. That was an easy win. No, it was not. The defense of Miami really gave Buffalo a lot of fits. Now, early in the game, without a doubt, Buffalo kicked the door down on Miami, and you know, it got 14-0 in a hurry, and you're thinking, uh-oh. And I was thinking, uh-oh, this is not good. We better wake up. Well, Miami's offense never woke up, but the defense held Buffalo in check for most of the game. It wasn't until the fourth quarter was when Buffalo got their 3 late touchdowns. But other than that, So, look, Allen is going to be a lot better because of the fact that Washington's D is a little dangerous. They are a little sneaky. They should wake up and they should get it. If you're going to try to run the football on Washington, might not be the best idea because of the fact that there's a guy named Chase Young who's, without a doubt, one of the best defenders in the league. And he could cause some trouble. So I think Washington will give Buffalo some fits early in the game. But I do believe Buffalo will find a way. They'll get the job done. They'll win this game. But it is not going to be as easy or as dominating as it looked. Because trust me, if you looked at the numbers and saw how it really played out, it's going to be a lot more. This is going to be a lot more interesting than it's being led to be. So we'll see that. Buffalo wins. Nothing more to say. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I think this will be a little bit of a tougher uh, challenge for Buffalo. I mean, because you are going up against Chase Young. That's who he's got to deal with. But there's no question about it. I think Buffalo will have no problem with Washington. Uh, the defense for Buffalo, I think, will definitely step up, and Josh Allen will definitely have his typical game here. And I do expect the running attack with Singletary to play well. So yeah, I got the Buffalo Bills winning as well. So Florio, let's move on.
And our next matchup will feature the Chicago Bears squaring off against the Cleveland Browns from First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Another game exclusive to Fox. Kevin Burkhardt, Greg Olson, Pam Oliver, they will be on the call. Cleveland opening up as a 7.5-point favorite. And the series history favors the Cleveland Browns 9-7. However, the Chicago Bears have won each of the last 3 meetings in this series, including the last meeting in Cleveland, which was 2013. Chicago won a wild one, 38-31. The Browns last beat the Bears at home in 2005, and that was also the last time they beat the Bears overall. 20-10 was the final there. Houston just scored a field goal, so it's now 17-9 Carolina, 9:09 to go in regulation. So again, we'll keep an eye on it, but I ran down all the schematics here. So MF, Andy Dalton looks like he's out. He hurt his knee in that win over in the win over Cincinnati last week. But now it looks like the Bear fans they're finally getting what they want. Justin Fields, his
Yep.
first start. But now you got to face Baker Mayfield and another very strong AFC Championship contender in Cleveland.
This is a dangerous game. Look, Baker did not play his best game, and they still won. You got a running attack, you got the receiving core, but even the receiving core not as great because of the fact that you have. I think this could go a number of ways, but the thing is, I gotta go with Cleveland, man. I look, Khalil Mack is gonna be a problem. He's gonna come up, he's gonna have some sacks, he's gonna be able to get there. But look at the defense on Cleveland as well. This is gonna be one of those where this could be very interesting. I know Justin Fields is gonna be a major threat. He's gonna be a dual threat. You gotta worry about him running and passing. If he gets going, I think Chicago steals it and wins. But I just feel like I gotta go with this team here. So I'm going with the Cleveland Browns. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be tight, but Cleveland comes away with the win. So nothing more to say. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I mean that could be a little bit of a challenge for Baker Mayfield when he's got to deal with that defense, especially uh, Khalil Mack. But Cleveland's defense, I mean, they're no slouches either, especially when you got Miles Garrett and Jadavian Clowney. So that's going to be a little bit of a challenge for Justin Fields. Yeah, what a way for him to make his debut. I mean, his first ever start. You got to deal with those two guys. So yeah, I could see this being a defensive battle, but I think to me in the end, I got the Cleveland Browns winning this one as well. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Florio, it is yours.
The Bears defense showed its top form, forcing turnovers against the Bengals at home. That scenario will be hard to repeat on the road as the Browns should push them around in the running game to open up more comfortable, efficient passing from Baker Mayfield. He is likely to duel with Justin Fields, the Ohio State product, who will give this game a little extra local flair. Fields will face a tough pass rush while trailing in the second half and can only do much running to get the Bears in the game. I'm going with the Cleveland Browns to win this game. My final score 27-14. Cleveland over Chicago. Next up, the first game from our side of the ledger on the mothership, CBS. And I can confirm that this will be the number 5 game of the week on our end. The Baltimore Ravens squaring off against the Detroit Lions, Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. This one over on CBS, and on the call for that one, it'll be the legendary Greg Gumbel, Adam Archuleta, and AJ Ross. And Baltimore opening up as an 8.5-point favorite. Series history favors the Baltimore Ravens 4-1. Ravens have won each of the last 3 meetings in this series, including their last meeting in Detroit, which was also in 2013. Baltimore winning 18-16. The Lions have only beaten the Ravens once, and ironically, that was at home. And that was also in 2005. 2005, Detroit beat Baltimore 35-17. And that's the only time they've ever beaten the Ravens. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock, Ravens winning the game that they absolutely had to win against Kansas City. Somehow, some way, they pulled it out. And now they've got an 0-2 Detroit team that looked, for the most part, great against San Fran, but against Green Bay, well, it was kind of back to earth for them.
Yeah, it was kind of back to earth for them. I mean, but yeah, I mean, for Baltimore, it was a game they had to win, and it was a 5-star classic game against the Kansas City Chiefs. And I guess you could say, guys, for Lamar Jackson, the monkey is off his back because he finally has a win against Patrick Mahomes, and yeah, this. I know this team is definitely gonna feed off of this emotional win last week, and yeah, it's not looking good for the Detroit Lions here. So yeah, I got the Baltimore Ravens winning this one. So yeah, there's really nothing more for me to add to it. So Florio, it is yours.
Lamar Jackson has looked smooth with his running and passing when the blocking is there. The complementary traditional running game is rolling, and the defense is still stopping the run despite its depletion and duct taping versus the pass. Jackson, his backs, wide receiver Marquise Hollywood Brown, and tight end Mark Andrews can all do whatever they want in this matchup to stay well ahead of Jared Goff. Look for a return to bringing pressure and befuddling Goff. Baltimore wins this one 38-23, Baltimore over Detroit. And MF, major momentum on the side of the Ravens after that. Oh, boy, if only we had that game. Oh, boy, all the fun we would have had with it. But, that's the way the records fell. But nonetheless, MF, Baltimore definitely on a major high after their biggest win in quite some time.
A season-defining moment for the Baltimore Ravens. Injuries galore. You never know what's happening with this team. A lot of people think that this team's going to fall flat on their faces. Then they run into the 2-time AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs, the winners of Super Bowl 54. And all of a sudden you're thinking, oh my heavens, what the Baltimore's goners. There's no way they're going to win this game, right? They won. Lamar Jackson, Hollywood Brown, Mark Andrews, that running game, that defense, they believed in themselves where everybody else did not. Everybody thought that they were not going to win that game, and they did. They opened the eyes of everybody in the NFL, and they are like, oh my God, if they could put this together, they're going to be a problem in the AFC. And now they got a quote-unquote a cupcake game. The Detroit Lions, like I said, maybe they hang with them a little bit early, but Baltimore, they got so many weapons that they can kill you with. This is going to be an easy game, easy victory for us to call here. Baltimore Ravens wins the game, going away. Florio, it's yours.
All right, and we move on to our next matchup. And it features the Arizona Cardinals squaring off against the Jacksonville Jaguars, TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. And this game you can find over on Fox. And 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 guess who's calling this game? Our boy, the legend, another legend, Gus Johnson, along with Aqib Talib and Megan O'Leary. They'll be in Jacksonville to see the Cards and the Jags square off on Sunday afternoon. Arizona opening up as a 7.5-point favorite. Arizona leads the all-time series 3-2. And we're starting to get into a little bit of a pattern here. Another team that's won 3 in a row in a series, and that's what the Arizona Cardinals have done. The Arizona Cardinals have won each of the last 3 meetings in a row against the Jacksonville Jaguars, including their last meeting in Jacksonville, which was in 2009. Arizona winning by a score of 31-17. The Jaguars have only beaten the Cardinals once, and that was, at home once, and that was actually in their very first meeting in the year 2000. Jacksonville won going away that day, 44-10. So that's the line here. Kyler Murray, number 1 overall pick from 20, takes on Trevor Lawrence, this year's number 1 overall pick. Murray has not been disappointing in year 3 with last season's shoulder issue behind him. He ran and passed the big things all over the field against the Titans on the road and the Vikings at home. He just has to be careful about making big mistakes that offset big plays. There's no good sense that the Jaguars will stop Murray or any of the speedy playmakers around him. They also should be worried about the offensive line crumbling big time again. Until Wentz can figure out what Urban Meyer is doing, stay away from trusting his team. This is one of the locks of the week for me. I got the Arizona Cardinals winning this one going away, 34-17. Arizona all over Jacksonville. And MF, well, I know all the talk is about Tampa and a few others in the NFC. Here's a team that I think we need to start putting some respect on.
Oh yeah, and the thing is that for me, honestly, I've had that respect for Arizona. I knew during their offseason when they were making all these moves, I'm like, guys, Arizona's going to be a problem. I know we're not talking about it now, but they're going to be a thorn. And they're going to cause a whole bunch of mookie stinks when it comes to the rest of the NFL. If nobody watches this, if they don't watch this is going to turn into something really, really good. And this team got the poise and the opportunity that, man, they could tear some stuff up. So, no, without a doubt, Arizona is the real deal, guys. And now the rest of the league is starting to notice. Arizona wins. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I think it's time that we take this Arizona Cardinals team seriously. What they able to do offensively with Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins, and obviously what they've been able to do defensively, especially with J.J. Watt and of course the emerging Chandler Jones, who, I still can't get over the what he did in the first game of the season, a performance that that I'm sure everybody will never forget. And so they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in that NFC West. I know everybody's going to be talking about the LA Rams and the Seattle Seahawks, and rightfully so, but you do not want to sleep on this Arizona Cardinals team. So Arizona wins. Florio, move on.
I just want to, I hate to cut you off, Anthony, on this one. However, ESPN is just reporting this. If this night was not bad enough for the Carolina Panthers, this night just went even worse for them. Just confirmed J.C. Horn, the 8th overall pick in this year's NFL draft, has suffered a broken foot.
Oh.
A hamstring to Christian McCaffrey, J.C. Horn just now broke his foot, confirmed. Man, Carolina, what a night.
But the good news is Sam Darnold just called his own number. He just took it in for a touchdown, made the extra point. So with 4:07 left in the fourth, barring anything really out of the ordinary, it looks like Carolina is on their way to 3-0.
Wow, man.
So it could be a costly 3-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, very costly.
Very costly.
Yeah, Horn's probably done for the year now.
Well, they said it's a broken foot. Now I don't know how bad the broken foot is. And then McCaffrey, when it comes to hamstrings, Stefania Bell always says hamstrings are the most trickiest injuries in the NFL. Like, you never know. That could be a week-to-week thing. So, if fantasy owners and people who's got Christian McCaffrey, hold on to your hats because that could go a number of ways.
All right. So, but nonetheless, 4:07 left in the fourth, 24-9, Carolina leading Houston. So with that being said, let's continue on. And now we're going to get into one of our top games of the week when it comes to our side of the ledger. This is in our top three, no question about it. I have this. I was having a hard time figuring out where to put this one because there are two games where we had two teams at 1-1. But the tiebreaker in this case was the spread. I thought whichever spread was closer, that's where the benefit of the doubt would go. And this next game just missed the benefit of the doubt. But so this is the number 3 game of the week when it comes to our side of the ledger on CBS. The Los Angeles Chargers squaring off against the Kansas City Chiefs, Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City, Missouri, on CBS. Hello, friends. Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson, they will be at Arrowhead for this one. And Kansas City opening up as a touchdown favorite, a 7-point spread for Kansas City. And a lot of history. We know this. Divisional rivalry. Kansas City leads the all-time series 64-56 with a tie. They split both meetings last year, both teams winning on the road. So that means the Chargers won in Kansas City last year, 38-21. Chiefs last beat the Chargers the year before, 2019, 31-21. So that's that. MF, I mean, both of these teams, demoralizing losses. Kansas City losing at the last second to Baltimore. But the Chargers, man, when are they ever going to catch a break? Losing to Dallas at the end on a Greg Zuerlein, the shakiest place kicker in the league, mind you.
Yeah.
And he did what he did to them to break their hearts at SoFi. Second year in a row that happened to them because week 2, Kansas City did the same thing to them. What were the odds of that happening back-to-back years?
Yeah, no, that was wow. The Chargers, you want to talk about one of the biggest snake bit teams in all of the NFL. It seems like every year, every time they play really good, something goes wrong. It's weird. It's crazy how this plays out. But, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes that does happen. But if you're Kansas City, you're thinking, we need to get back. We need to get the payback. We need an opportunity here to bounce back from that loss. But especially, and if you're the Chargers, you're thinking the same thing as well. It's gonna be a great battle. It's gonna be a great game. I gotta go Kansas City. I just think they just got the weapons. They're gonna have enough to get the job done. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs to win this one. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I mean, the LA Chargers just can't catch a break. I mean, it seems like whenever there's something good that goes on, all of a sudden something goes bad. And we saw that last week with a field goal by Greg Zuerlein to win the game for the Dallas Cowboys. And man, Kansas City, I mean, a gut-wrenching loss against the Ravens, and yeah, I mean, they played well enough, but the thing is, they just couldn't come up with the big play at the end, and you know that they want some payback. I think the Chargers will definitely give them fits, but yeah, I got to go with Kansas City. They just have too many weapons on offense for the Chargers that they got to deal with here. So I'm going with the Chiefs. Florida, with yours.
Yeah, make it unanimous here. I mean, the Chargers held off Washington but could not finish off Dallas. Here comes Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City, so they need Justin Herbert to shake off some turnovers woes and be ready to duel. The Chargers' receiving versatility at wideout, tight end, in the backfield because of Austin Eckler will drive the Chiefs' defensive backs and linebackers batty. LA has played good bend but don't break defense for their coach Brandon Staley, and will stay in the game there versus Patrick Mahomes. But in the end, stopping both Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce in key moments will be tough. I got Kansas City winning as well. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think Kansas City wins 28-24. Chiefs get back on track. And there isn't much more to say on that one. So move on to our next game. And this is the game that I know Michael Bullock is going to have the most vested interest in, because it will be the New Orleans Saints squaring off against the New England Patriots, Gillette Stadium, Foxborough, Massachusetts, the home for this one. And we can find this game on Fox, and it'll be on our local Fox affiliate, Fox Providence, on Sunday afternoon. And on the call for that one, it will be Adam Amin, Mark Schlereth, and Shannon Spake. The Patriots opening up as only 3-point favorites, 3-point spread for New England. New England leads the all-time series 10-4. New England's won the last 2 meetings in this series, including, of course, a game that I know Michael Bullock will forever hold dear in his heart. 2013, Patriots winning 30-27, which featured the radio call that put Scott Zolak on the map. You know how that went down. Unicorns, show ponies.
Unicorn, show ponies. Where's
Brady's
the beef?
back. Yeah, where's the beef? Brady's back. That's our quarterback. And
oh man.
Yeah, and yeah, we'll have some fun with that in a minute. That's the last time they met in Foxborough. New England winning 30-27. That was in 2013. The Saints last won in Foxborough. Got to go back to 1995. That was a 31-17 win at the old Foxborough Stadium in New England. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock, I mean, it's only fitting that we start this one off with you. I mean, this is your team after all. Tough luck loss against the Dolphins on opening day, but last week, oh boy, you rebounded in a big way. You kicked the door down at MetLife Stadium, made yourselves at home against the Jets, beat them for the 11th straight time. Big ups to you guys on that. Damian Harris with one of the greatest touchdown runs you'll ever see, which would make the great Chris Berman go boom, 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 and all that. But Bullock, you got the Saints coming in, who looked great in Week 1 against Green Bay. Looked damn near unstoppable against Green Bay, a 5-star performance, but then they fell back to earth in against the Carolina Panthers. So Bullock, Saints, Patriots, Foxborough, and the last time, of course, they met, 2013, the night Scott Zolak became a radio legend.
Oh yeah. I'll never forget that. But yeah, I mean, basically, normally when you talk about these two teams, it's usually Brady and Breeze. Of course, Breeze is now retired, of course, at NBC. Of course, Tom Brady doing his thing in Tampa Bay. So now you got the battle with Mac Jones and Jameis Winston. So yeah, I do expect New Orleans to come out and play hard. I mean, especially when you got one of the one of the premier running backs in the NFL, and Alvin Kamara, with what he can do, not just running the ball, but catching it out of the backfield. I mean, and so far through these first 2 weeks, I mean, I've been really impressed with what Mac Jones was able to do. And defensively last week, they were able to pick off Zach Wilson 4 times. So, and we all know Jameis Winston's history of turnovers, especially during that 2019 season. And that's what they got to do. They got to get pressure on Jameis Winston, and they need to force him into some turnovers. So it's going to be a close one, but I got the Patriots winning this one. I'm going to go 27-24 is my final score. So that's pretty much all I can say. Florio, I think for me, the Patriots, they need to stay focused on this one and cannot look ahead to next, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, only the most anticipated regular season game of all time, which we will address on this program 1 week from tonight. And the three of us have some big plans and then some. And we'll address all that next week. But for right now, the Patriots are proving they are a force running the ball behind a stout line and their 2 most reliable backs, Damian Harris and James White. Mac Jones has been set up to be comfortable with low risk, high efficiency passing with the focus on ball protection. The Saints are trying to treat Jameis Winston the same way and win around him with the running of Alvin Kamara leading the way. New England's game plan will be to zone in on Kamara and take their chances with the Saints' otherwise limited skill players. I don't think it's going to be as high scoring as Bullock thinks. I think it's going to be a little more lower scoring. But nonetheless, I agree with him. I have the New England Patriots winning this game as well. 17-13, New England gets by New Orleans. So, and before we give it to MF, I can confirm it is now a final. The Carolina Panthers have defeated the Houston Texans 24-9. Panthers improving to 3-0. Texans dropping to 1-2. And gentlemen, I need to remind you, the last time that the Panthers started a year 3-0 was 2015, and that team went 15-1 and went all the way to the Super Bowl 50, only to lose to the Denver Broncos the night that Peyton Manning went out a champion, and rightfully so. But anyways, 24-9, Carolina beats Houston. They're 3-0, so not much more to say. MF, let's get to you now. New Orleans, New England. I think it's going to be a little more lower scoring. Bullock has it a little in the higher range. What says you? MF, are you there?
Sorry about that. I kind of was caught up in something else at the moment. Look, I'm going to say this. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good battle. But I got to go with the New England Patriots. I agree with you guys. I think the Patriots are going to win this game. The way that it's set it up, it looks like it's going to be one of those type of battles where it really depends on what Jameis Winston does. He's like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. First week against Green Bay, he slaughtered them. 5 touchdowns. Absolutely destroyed them, demoralized them. There was nothing more to say. Last week, Dr. Jekyll showed up. What was that? Mr. Hyde showed up. What was that? Oh my God, that was horrible. That was I don't know. I don't even know what to even call that performance. Of course, Mac Jones, consistent, didn't have to do much. Game management more than anything else. Damian Harris, nice way to bounce back after the fumble against Miami and basically junk in the bed, costing your team the game. A lot of people thought you were going to end up in the doghouse, and you got yourself right out of there real fast. So good job. They're going to need you again this week. But here's the other problem. Alvin Kamara. Kamara is a danger. If you're New England, you got to shut him down quick, because if he gets going, oh, that could be trouble. That could be big trouble for the Patriots. But I do believe New England will find a way to get the job done. They'll win this game. Anthony, it's yours.
All right. Just want to my schedule notes one more time. All right. Few more early games before we get into the late ones. Next up, we will have the Atlanta Falcons squaring off against the New York Giants. MetLife Stadium in the Meadowlands, East Rutherford, New Jersey. And this game will be over on Fox. We have Kenny Albert, Jonathan Vilma, and Sarah Walsh. They will have the call for that one. And the Giants opening up as 3-point favorites. Atlanta leads the all-time series 13-11. The Falcons have won each of the last 2 meetings against the Giants, including their last meeting in New York, which was in 2015. Atlanta won 24-20. Giants last beat the Falcons at home and overall the year before, 2014. That was a 30-20 final. So I believe I start this one off. So let me find this matchup here. The Giants are looking for their first win and will get it, while denying the Falcons a chance at their first win. This is a get-well game for the entire Giants offense to come out and take pressure off Daniel Jones to carry the team as a passer and runner. The Falcons' pass protection is in shambles, and Matt Ryan is being forced into bad mistakes. This also feels like an opportunity for the real Saquon Barkley to show up in the rushing attack, coming off long week rest. Tough one to call, but I'm going with the New York Giants to snap their funk. I'm going to say 30-24. G-Men knock off Atlanta, but I'm not overly convinced. So MF, the pseudo zonk game of the week for Fox. Battle of 0-2 teams. Who's getting their first win and who's dropping to 0-3?
New York. New York wins. I am totally agree with you, Floyer. You actually took some of the stuff out as well. So no, you basically made all the arguments that I was going to make. I got the Giants winning. Bullock is yours.
Yeah, I got the Giants winning this one as well. I mean, I just don't have any confidence with the Falcons right now. I mean, it's just not looking good for them right now. So Giants win. Florio, let's move on.
And we move on to now. You remember I said that the Chargers and the Chiefs in one other game was battling for the 2 and 3 spots on our side of the ledger. And this next game actually won the benefit of the doubt over the Chargers and Chiefs because of the closer point spread. And I fully believe this game is worthy of being our number 2 game of the week. It'll be the Cincinnati Bengals squaring off against the Pittsburgh Steelers, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, over on CBS. Kevin Harlan, Trent Green, Melanie Collins will be on the call. Pittsburgh opening up as a 3-point favorite in this one. And we know the history of these two. Oh, do we? Even though it is a one-sided rivalry, Pittsburgh leads the all-time regular season series 65-36. And both teams split last year, but both teams won at home, which means Pittsburgh won at home against Cincy 36-10. The Bengals have not won in Pittsburgh since 2015, 16-10. The Steelers have won each of the last 5 meetings in a row at home at Heinz Field against the Cincinnati Bengals. So there's definitely I think I pretty much covered all the schematics here. So MF, number 2 game of the week on our end, easily could have been ours, but the record's not quite there. Cincy and Pittsburgh, we know the history, and based on what I've seen over the first 2 weeks, this one has potential to be really good.
It does. Look, Cincinnati came out, played really well last week, got a nice win. Pittsburgh, shocking loss. They lost to the Raiders. Are you kidding me? We'll get to the Raiders in just a minute. We'll get to them in a little bit. Pittsburgh, I don't know what happened. I mean, they took Buffalo, beat them, and then played that kind of a bad performance. It was one of those you couldn't believe it, but it happened.
It was that downward spot. It was that team that had that downward spiral at the end of last year. Remember?
Yeah, but the thing is that it's fine to lose this early in the year because you can always bounce back. That's nothing more. You just don't want to cause a downward spiral. That's the one thing you're afraid of. Pittsburgh, I don't know. It just felt like I don't know if they rested or if they were just too, or they were just like, you know what? We were so amped about the first game and forgot about this game, and I don't know. But one thing's for sure, you cannot do that again. Most definitely cannot do that again. So I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I just feel like, look, Cincinnati is good, but I don't think they're there yet. I just feel like Pittsburgh will figure it out. They always figure it out. That's the one thing. But there is a lot of injury concerns. That's the one thing that where I'm thinking this is closer. So this could be at least a 7-point margin, but I do believe Pittsburgh will figure out a way to get the job done and they'll win this game. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I couldn't believe the way the Steelers lost to the Raiders here, but the Bengals, I mean, they look good so far in the 2 games here. So, yeah, this could turn out to be something really good, but as you just said, the Bengals are not there yet. I mean, they're making some progress, but they're not there yet. I mean, I think they'll definitely give Pittsburgh some fits, especially with the history with these two. But, yeah, in the end, I got Pittsburgh winning this one as well. So there's really nothing more to say. Florio, I mean, I hope and pray, because we know the history of these two teams. I hope there is no fisticuffs here, if you know what I mean.
That infamous wild card game, January of, I believe it was 2016, the infamous Vontaze Burfict game. We all know how that ended. So, trust me, MF and I know we called it, and yeah, we still have nightmares about it. But anyways, all kidding aside, these 1-1 NFC North rivals each had surprise wins in Week 1 over Minnesota and Buffalo, respectively. Week 2 came with a lot of regrets as the Bengals made too many offensive mistakes with Joe Burrow in Chicago, and the Steelers couldn't generate consistent passing with Ben Roethlisberger versus Las Vegas. It's uncertain how many key bods will be missing for the Steelers defense, but there's no doubt the offensive line is the biggest concern. Burrow will have some Derek Carr-like success on the Steelers, but Roethlisberger should be able to lean more on rookie running back Najee Harris here. This is a close game decided by a Hines field goal by Chris Boswell. Pittsburgh wins 23-20. I got Pittsburgh winning. Our final early game of Week 3, and it's the number 4 game over on our side of CBS. The Indianapolis Colts squaring off against the Tennessee Titans from Nissan Stadium in Nashville. Andrew Catalon, James Lofton, Michael Grady will have the call. And Tennessee opening up as a 5.5-point favorite. Indianapolis leads the all-time series 35-17. And the Colts have won each of the last 3 meetings in Nashville. They've won 3 years in a row, and they've gone into Nashville and won each of the last 3 years, including last year, 34-17. Both teams split, which meant both teams won on the road, obviously. Titans have not beaten the Colts at home since 2017, 36-22. And I lost track. Who having a little brain fart here? Who started the last one? Was it? No, I think it was MF who started the last one. So I believe it goes to Bullock. So Bullock, the Colts and the Titans The Colts 0-2 in desperate need of a win. But Tennessee, though, with maybe the surprise win of the week, stealing one in Seattle. And oh, by the way, rumors of Derrick Henry's demise greatly exaggerated.
Yeah, greatly exaggerated in a big way. Yeah, Derrick Henry certainly came out in a big way, and yeah, if you're the Colts, that's not good. But yeah, they really need this one. But I think it's going to be very tough for the Colts, especially with some of the injuries that they have on their team. But yeah, I mean, I expect another big game out of Derrick Henry, and of course Ryan Tannehill as well, and especially from the receiving core of AJ Brown and Julio Jones. So I got the Tennessee Titans winning this one. So Florio, it is yours.
Right there with you. The Colts may be without Carson Wentz and need to turn to Jacob Eason at quarterback. At this point, it doesn't feel like much of a downgrade or curveball to a run-heavy game plan. The Colts defense also has been wilting more than expected, giving big pass plays and not being as sturdy against the run. The Titans should like that combination as they can set up play action for Ryan Tannehill well to play off a sizzling Derrick Henry. But Indianapolis will be desperate to avoid 0-3 and put up a tight fight by digging deeper in their passing game. But I'm afraid it's not going to be enough. I got the Tennessee Titans winning this game a little closer than you think, especially if they get Carson Wentz. I'm going to say 24-20. That was the score I had going in. I'm going to stick with that. I might be off, but I don't care. I'm going with Tennessee, 24-20. MF, can you believe what Derrick Henry did in Seattle against that defense? And he did that? He did what? As Al Michaels once famously said. Wow. Oh, hold on a minute. MF stepped away. All right. He stepped away, so we'll just let us know when you're back in, MF, and we'll get your thoughts on that one. So in the meantime, we're gonna get into our late games now, and this next game is going to be our Zonk game of the week when it comes to our side of the ledger, and rightfully so, as it will be the New York Jets squaring off against the Denver Broncos from Empower Field at Mile High in Denver. And this will be a 4:05 kickoff, and it'll be over on CBS, of course. And on that call, it'll be Spiro Ditas and Jay Feely. Denver, I think they have the biggest spread of the week. Denver is opening up as a 10.5-point favorite. And Denver leads the all-time series 20-16 with a tie. And Denver won their last meeting last year. That game was in New York, though, but Denver won 37-28. Last meeting in Denver, 2017, Denver won that one as well, 23-0. The Jets have not won in Denver since 2010. That was a 24-20 final. So not much more for me to say on this. I've covered all the schematics, so I'm going to get into this one. I'll start it off. And trying to find it here on my notes. Should be in here somewhere. But regardless, all right, I got it. The Broncos defense has thrown down the way Vic Fangio wants against the lowly Giants and Jaguars. Here, back at home for the first time this season, Denver will take down another overmatched offense in a loud home environment. Denver is not far from Utah, where Zach Wilson hails and played his college ball at BYU. That won't help much with Von Miller in the vicinity against a weakened offensive line. The Jets will also face a Broncos secondary that played much better in week 2, leading to more mistakes from Wilson. Teddy Bridgewater will keep playing well to exploit a weak pass defense with tons of help from running backs Melvin Gordon and Vontae Williams. The Jags have proved to be messy to trust to be competitive under Urban Meyer in the short term, but But nonetheless, this is okay. MF's back in. All right. Let me see. This is my lock of the week. I got the Denver Broncos winning this one rather comfortably, 30-14. Denver beats the Jets. So MF, you missed out on the while you were away. You missed out on the Indy Tennessee game. I still can't get over what Derrick Henry did against Seattle of all teams, and then Jets in Denver, obviously our Zonk game of the week on our side.
Yeah, I got Tennessee winning the first game. I got Denver winning this one. So there's really nothing more to add, and let's just move right on along, Anthony.
Bullock? Michael Bullock, are you there? Okay, there you are.
Yeah, we're talking the Broncos and Jets, right?
Yeah, Jets and Broncos home opener in Denver.
Yeah, I got the Broncos winning this one as well. I mean, obviously it's their home opener, and yeah, I mean with the way the Jets are playing, yeah, this is an easy call. So there's nothing more to say. Florio, it's yours.
And the other 4:05 game on CBS, and it ends up being by default the Tony and Mikey special, our game of the week. And in a way, I'm half and half. In one sense, I'm a little but at the same time, I'm also I'm actually rather excited about this because this was one of the games of the year last year, one of the best games of 2020, without a doubt. The other 4:05 game on CBS and our game of the week, the Tony and Mikey special here, the Miami Dolphins squaring off against the Las Vegas Raiders from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. Iron Eagle, Charles Davis, Evan Washburn. Raiders opening up as 4-point favorites, and definitely a lot of history with these two teams dating back to the early years and mainly around the 60s and the 70s. I mean, that was one of the best rivalries of the 60s and the 70s. Miami leads the all-time series 18-17 with a tie. Their last meeting, of course, that 5-star Shakespearean drama classic, The Night After Christmas last year. Miami winning 26-25, stealing one at Allegiant. They've won 2 in a row in this series. The Raiders have not beaten the Dolphins at home overall since a playoff game, a divisional playoff game, January of 2001. That was in Oakland. Raiders won that one 27-0. They haven't beaten the Dolphins at home in a regular season game since 1996. 17-7. And I believe I've covered all the schematics here, and it's only fitting we start with MF here because this is our game of the week here. Dolphins, Raiders, 1-1 versus 2-0. I mean, MF, obviously the big question in Miami, of course, Tua Tagovailoa suffering the injury against Buffalo, never came back. I know you've kept an eye on his status all week, and but for the Raiders though, as of now, first place in the AFC West, 2-0, big win in Pittsburgh. Dolphins, Raiders. The big question is, will it be anything like that 5-star classic we had last year after Christmas?
I do not know. I don't believe it is. First off, it's Derek Carr. Derek Carr is undefeated against the Miami Dolphins. Because remember, he did not play a year ago. That was Marcus Mariota because of the fact that Carr got hurt before that game and was out. Tua did not play well. Ryan Fitzpatrick came in relief, and that's when all the chaos broke out on that Saturday night in Vegas. So we'll see how it plays out. But honestly, to be very truthfully, the Raiders are playing with the house money right now because Miami is a complete and utter mess. Offensively, especially the offensive line is such a mess right now. You don't know how it's going to look, but I will say this. If you're the Raiders, you're licking your chops because you see Miami and they look like a wounded animal right now. They are not at a good place right now. They're not playing real good at the minute. And to go up against the Raiders in Miami, for Miami, probably not the best time. There was a lot of expectations. And the weird thing is that with Tua had bruised ribs. And then we found out that no, they weren't just bruised. They fractured. He's out. He's not playing on Sunday. He is out. And he could be out for 3 to 6 weeks. That's how bad this injury could be. So that means now Jacoby Brissett comes in, and he really didn't do much in relief for the Miami Dolphins when Tua went out against Buffalo. So right now, there's a lot of Dolphin fans that are really wondering what's this team really like right now, and what was at one point playoff aspirations. Now Dolphin fans are turning on this team, saying maybe they win 5 games from here on out. I mean, I don't know what to expect. The Raiders are looking really good right now. They got questions as well. If Josh Jacobs goes, then this could be an easy victory for the Raiders. Right now, the Raiders are definitely the hottest team in the NFL and the most underrated team. They've flown under the radar more than any other team right now in the NFL. I think the Raiders will go 3-0. They should have no problem with the Miami Dolphins this time around. They felt like they let one get away about a year ago, which ultimately ended their season. Remember, if the Dolphins, because of that Raider loss, the Raiders were knocked out of the playoff contention. So obviously that's equally double on their thoughts. The Raiders should win this one. Bullock, it's yours.
The Raiders are definitely off to a pretty good start, and yeah, if Josh Jacobs definitely plays, then it's going to be an easy win. But man, I mean, obviously, I heard that they're not going to have Tua Tagovailoa for this one, so it looks like it's going to be Jacoby Brissett getting the start here for the Dolphins. So yeah, I mean, I got the Raiders winning this one as well. So there's really nothing more to say. Florio, it's yours.
Yeah, the Raiders have red hot Derek Carr driving all over everyone, making good use of top flight inside, outside field stretching weapons, Darren Waller and Henry Ruggs III. But their running game and defense need to be better complementary units for any shot at holding on to a wild card spot. This was a nice Saturday night duel in the desert with Carr battling Tua Tagovailoa and Ryan Fitzpatrick late last season. Carr has the big edge over Tagovailoa, or in this case, Jacoby Brissett here. Also look for extra juice in the Raiders' rushing attack, with former Dolphin Kenyon Drake getting after it as the key short to immediate receiver in a quote-unquote revenge game. I got the Las Vegas Raiders winning this one as well, 23-13. MF, it may not be our flashiest game of the week, but next week more than makes up for it in a big way. So we'll definitely have a lot more fun with our game of the week next week. So there isn't much more to say on that. So 23-13, I got Vegas winning. But now let's get into what will be, without a doubt, the game of the week for week 3 in the NFL. America's game of the week on Fox, the first of the 2 425 games. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers squaring off against the Los Angeles Rams from the home of Super Bowl 56, SoFi Stadium, Inglewood, California. On Fox, you know who's working it. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, Aaron Andrews, Tom Rinaldi. They're all going to be there. Tampa Bay opening up, get this, only a 1-point spread. Tampa's only favored by 1. That's it. 1-point spread for Tampa. That's all. Series history favors the LA Rams 15-9. They met last year in Tampa. Rams winning that one 27-24. Their last meeting in LA was 2019. Tampa Bay won an absolutely wild one, 55-40 in SoFi a couple of years ago. Actually, no, I think it was in the Coliseum 2 years ago. And they snapped what was a 5-game losing streak to the Rams. Rams last beat the Bucks at home when they were the St. Louis Rams, and that was in 2015, 31-23. If you're talking the LA days, go all the way back to 1987, the strike shortened replacements season, 35-3 beatdown there. So there isn't much more to say. Michael Bullock, once again, it's fitting that we start with you here because it's your boy, Tom Brady, and of course your other boy, Gronk. Game of the week. You couldn't pick a better game to be the game of the week. It's only fitting it's America's game of the week. Maybe a playoff preview between these two NFC studs.
Yeah, I could definitely see this being as a possible playoff preview somewhere down the line. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a true test for this offensive line for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they're going to be going up against Aaron Donald and that Rams defense. I mean, yeah, somebody's going to have to do a job of protecting Tom from Aaron Donald. But yeah, I mean, you got Stafford going up against Tom Brady here on the offensive side. So yeah, obviously news came out today. Obviously, Antonio Brown. I mean, he did test positive for COVID, but there is still a chance that he could play because remember, going into the season, the Bucks and Bruce Arians said that the team's fully vaccinated, 100%. So there's still a chance he could play, but we'll have to wait and see. But Brady's still got enough weapons. He's still got Gronk. He's still got Chris Godwin. He's got Mike Evans. So, this is a tough one for me to call. I'm gonna say the Buccaneers will just edge the LA Rams 30-27. So I really got nothing more to say. Florio, I got the Bucks winning, but it would not surprise me if the Rams can pull this one out.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. I'm right there with you on that one. But anyways, and I'm going to agree with you in another sense in just a moment. Could this be an NFC championship game preview or a playoff preview? Should the Rams win the NFC West? Then the answer may very much be yes. Last November, Tom Brady struggled against the Rams defense at home in a 27-24 loss. He's a lot more locked into his loaded weapons less than a year later, with a conference title and Super Bowl 55 ring in hand since. Matthew Stafford had a great first game and a pretty good second one to ensure his new team would start 2-0. But this is a different kind of measuring stick against an active defense that will shut down the run and come after him. He also must outduel Brady without the same kind of depth at receiver and tight end. Brady will remember how the Rams got the best of him last year and won't let it happen again. Stafford's longtime profile means he doesn't help his team win games like this. So, Bullock, I am with you. I had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning, and guess what, Bullock? I actually had the exact same score that you do, 30-27. Tampa Bay steals one in SoFi. MF, there's no doubt about it. Until we get to the Super Bowl, this is without a doubt the biggest game in SoFi Stadium's short history.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. This is a big game. This is a big battle. This is a tough game. Not easy to call. But you know what? I've been watching both teams. And the thing is, if you really think about it, Tampa was very lucky to beat Dallas the first time out early in the season. They are now playing a team that has a really good defense who could actually match up with Tampa Bay stride for stride. If it goes into a shootout, Matthew Stafford is not afraid to sling the ball. And they got some weapons. but they got a running game as well that's really good. If there's one thing that I like is I love the defense of the Rams. And I think they can get to Brady, especially Aaron Donald. I think he can get to him. Now, I'm going to go out of the grain here, and I'm going to go against my own brethrens. That's right, boys. I'm lone wolf in this one. I'm going alone. The Los Angeles Rams upsets the defending Super Bowl champions, and they win this game 27-24. They knock off the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at SoFi. The crowd's going to be electric. That is going to be an atmosphere that's going to be unmatched. And I just don't think, and as good as Brady is, as much as the weapons are going to be, when you got guys like Ramsey, and Ramsey's going to be going after Godwin now. He was going to be the one that was going to go after possibly Antonio Brown. Now, if Brown does not go, that means he could go after Godwin. He could go after Mike Evans. He might feast against these guys. So I'm not as convinced like you guys are about this one, but this can definitely go either way. Would I be shocked if Tampa wins? Absolutely not. But I just feel like the defense is geared up for this game. And that crowd in SoFi is going to be unconscious on Sunday. They will be that 12th man. They will rise up. And I believe we have an upset on our hands. I got the Rams knocking off Tampa. They will win this game on Sunday. Anthony, it is yours.
All right. 3 games left. And we move on to the other 4:25 kickoff on Fox. It'll be the Seattle Seahawks squaring off against the Minnesota Vikings from US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. On Fox, Kevin Kugler, Mark Sanchez, Laura Oakman will be on the call for that one. And Seattle opening up as only a 1.5-point favorite against Minnesota. Even though Seattle leads the all-time series against Minnesota by a score of 12-5, including, oh, by the way, 7 straight wins for Seattle against Minnesota, including that infamous wild card game on that frozen day on the campus of the University of Minnesota, that temperature where it was as cold as Jupiter there, but still. They last met a year ago, 2020. That game was in Seattle. Seattle won 27-26. The Vikings have not beaten the Seahawks overall and at home since 2009 when they were in the old Metrodome. Back when Brett Favre was their quarterback. Minnesota had an easy win in Seattle that day, 35-9. So there isn't much more to say on this one. Seattle, Minnesota. The Seahawks and Vikings were on other sides of field goal drama in week 2. But a make and a mismake, them each looking for a rebound victory in week 3. Russell Wilson should have no problems roasting Minnesota's secondary with his wideouts, and Kirk Cousins should be game to keep up in his team's home opener. Dalvin Cook being a question mark hurts because any less pop could make the difference. It's simply easier to trust a red-hot Wilson anywhere versus Cousins at home. This feels like another wild one-possession contest for both teams, maybe coming down to a second overtime game for each. But nonetheless, I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks to keep up their momentum against Minnesota. I think they'll steal one at US Bank Stadium. Another exciting game. This has 5-star shootout potential. 34-31. Seattle beats Minnesota. MF, Seattle, they beat Minnesota 7 straight, including the playoff game. Do they make it 8?
Seattle gets it. I'm not going to waste too much time here. Seattle should win. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah. Who's playing again?
Seattle and Minnesota.
Yeah, I got Seattle winning this one as well because I mean, basically they've lost a very tough game last week against Titans against the Titans. So yeah, you know that they want to rebound in a pretty good way, and I think I see it happening here. So Seattle wins. So Florio, it is on to Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, and this week is definitely dominated by the NFC side of the ledger. I mean, you thought those last two games were good. Just wait, these primetime games are going to be just as good. Sunday Night Football on NBC will feature the Green Bay Packers squaring off against the San Francisco 49ers. Home opener for the 49ers at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. NBC, you can also stream it on Peacock. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya will have the call. San Francisco opening up as a 3-point favorite. Green Bay leads the all-time series 33-28 with a tie. They met last year in San Francisco. Green Bay won 34-17. Niners last beat the Packers at home. They did it twice in the same year, 2019, 37-8 in the regular season, and then beat them again 37-20 also at Levi's. That was in the NFC Championship game. The 49ers to the Super Bowl 54, only to come up short against the City Chiefs. So there's not much more to say. MF, San Francisco 49ers starting the year 2-0, winning in Detroit and winning in Philadelphia. First home game for them. And Green Bay, after a disastrous dud game against New Orleans, easy bounce back against Detroit. Something's got to give. What happens in Santa Clara?
You know what? When it comes to Santa Clara, when it comes to Levi's and this place, I gotta go with the 49ers. I don't know why. I just feel like the Niners are made for this moment. So I'm gonna go against the grain here, guys. And I'm gonna say I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers to win this game. I really got nothing more to add. So Michael Bellick, I give it to you. Niners win in my mind.
Wow, I mean he went with the 49ers, man. This is a tough one for me here. I mean, and let's not forget for San Fran. I mean, this is their first home game with fans because remember what happened late in the season when they shut down their stadium and they had to go play someplace else. So for them to be back in their stadium with fans, I think this team's going to be all fired up for this one. Man, you know what? I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm actually going to go with Fletch here. I got the 49ers winning with this one. I mean, Green Bay will definitely give them a tough game here, but I think the thing is, we don't know which Aaron Rodgers we're going to get here, so that's my only question. So I think because of those factors, I'm actually going to go with the 49ers. I can't believe I'm saying that. So Florio, it is yours.
Very tough to call. There's no doubt about that. The 49ers have owned the Packers in recent meetings, whether it's been Colin Kaepernick running all over the defense or the 2019 version dispatching Aaron Rodgers twice. But last November, the injury-riddled 49ers allowed the Packers to turn the tables in prime time in San Francisco. The 49ers are struggling to keep running backs healthy, and their passing game has more limitations than expected around Jimmy Garoppolo. Their defensive back seven also can be picked apart by Rodgers with decent protection. The 49ers will try to get enough big pass plays so they can run to win, but the Packers should be inspired to compensate for the Week 1 road debacle against the Saints in Jacksonville. Rodgers has another happy return to the Bay Area, while Garoppolo struggles to finish the comeback against a tough pass defense. I would not at all be surprised if San Fran won, but yeah, very tough to call. I want to go with you guys on this one. I do, but after Green Bay got back on track against Detroit, I think they might have a chance to stay that way. So I'm going to take a big chance here I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers to win this game. But if the Niners win, I would not at all be surprised. So 27-24, Green Bay beats San Francisco. Not an easy decision. I had a very hard time with it up until now, so no doubt about that. So 27-24, Green Bay wins, but if San Fran were to win, not at all. No big surprise there, not at all. Final game of the week, it is Monday Night Football on ESPN, and it features another big one in the NFC East, as it will feature the Philadelphia Eagles squaring off against the Dallas Cowboys, AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas, Jerry World, home opener for the Cowboys. ESPN and ESPN Plus, Steve Levy, Brian Greasy, Louis Riddick, and Lisa Salters. Or if you want to watch it on ESPN2, Peyton and Eli Manning. And I understand they've gotten some very rave reviews over the last couple of weeks. Rightfully so, no big surprise. But anyways, and Dallas opening up as a 3.5-point favorite. Dallas leads the all-time series 67-53. They split both meetings last year, but Dallas won it. They both won at home, so Dallas won in Dallas 37-17 last year. Cowboys have won each of the last 3 meetings in Dallas. Philly has not won in Dallas since 2017. That was a 37-9 final. So with that being said, Michael Bullock, you lead off on our final game of the week, Monday Night Football, Philly and Dallas. Major NFC East implications in this one.
Yeah, definitely some major NFC East implications here. I mean, Dallas has looked pretty impressive in the first 2 games. I mean, especially getting the winner last week over the Chargers. I mean, this is another tough one for me, but to me, I got to go with the Dallas Cowboys here. I think they're going to ride the momentum of last week's win, so there's nothing more to say. Florio, it is yours.
Yeah. Another tough one to call here. Another one that can easily go either way. But the Eagles looked dominant against the Falcons and then couldn't score on the 49ers. Jalen Hurts has played well, but their offense has been otherwise inconsistent, with defense being the early strength. The Cowboys have shown plenty of diverse offense with Dak Prescott in 2 games, and their defense is making up for big issues with well-timed takeaways and stops. Prescott and Hurts will duel well, with Dallas getting the key last possession at home. The Cowboys will be in position to run well again, and their experience edge at receiver over the Eagles pays off in a familiar NFC East marquee shootout. I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys to win this game. 31-28, Dallas wins in their home opener in Jerry World. Not much more to say. MF, take it home.
I am in total agreement here. I think the Dallas Cowboys will win their their home opener in Jerry World. Anthony, let's call it a night.
Yeah, we'll do. And that will put the bow on this very special Thursday edition of NFL Saturday. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. Now, you're thinking, okay, tomorrow night, Cerebral Smack Talk, whatever. No, not in this case. Because of the fact that AEW Rampage is running 2 hours tomorrow night from 10 to midnight, we felt that it was too late to do a show at that point, especially with the loaded docket. So we are not going to have a show on Friday. We're also not going to have a show on Saturday. So we'll next be with you on Sunday night, immediately following the WWE Extreme Rules pay-per-view for a very special Sunday night edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk, hosted by good old MF Michael Fletcher on his channel, BraceFan95. We're going to review Friday Night SmackDown. We're going to review AEW Rampage Grand Slam, and we're going to review the WWE Extreme Rules pay-per-view. We're going to have to pick up the pace on that one, fellas. No doubt about that. And then Monday night, back here on the Tone 25 for another edition of Ridiculously Raw, the Raw Fallout from Extreme Rules. Tuesday, another Tuesday edition of College Football Thursday. We're going to be getting into week 5. Wow, already. Unreal. Gentlemen, it's going to be a loaded docket. But of course, the headliner, without a doubt, Cincinnati and Notre Dame. That is going to be wow. Some other great ones. We'll get into all that on Tuesday. Wednesday Night Mayhem. MF will have that. NXT 2.0. AEW Dynamite. And then next Thursday night, another Thursday edition of NFL Saturday, Week 4. And gentlemen, there is not much more to say except the most anticipated regular season game in NFL history. Sunday Night Football, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New England Patriots from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. And we got some other great matchups as well on the docket. I mean, the Carolina Panthers against the Dallas Cowboys. The Cleveland Browns against the Minnesota Vikings. The Kansas City Chiefs against the Philadelphia Eagles. Seattle and the NFC West are going to battle it out. The Arizona Cardinals and the LA Rams, the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers, Baltimore Ravens against the Denver Broncos, the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Green Bay Packers. And then you got the Vegas Raiders against the LA Chargers. Very loaded week in week number 4 next week. So, and then if all holds up, then we should be back to normal and have the Cerebral Smack Talk back next Friday night. So, which will feature night 1 of the WWE draft. Oh, by the way, so that'll do it. So until Sunday night for our very special Sunday edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk, Anthony Florio here for good old MF Michael Fletcher, and in spirit Michael Bullock, Dede Woodson, and always and forever the Yankee Messiah 401 Derek Ferreira. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed few days. And until Sunday night for that big special Sunday Cerebral Smack Talk, you've been watching this special Thursday edition of NFL Saturday Week 3 right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and StreamYard.com. For everybody who's been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long. And bye, everybody. Bye.